But yeah, so we kind of started doing this, got the idea in November, and then over the break we kind of went back, did some more research. We managed to get this equipment rented out just to give it a run through, and now we're kind of going through the first few episodes and figuring out a little bit more of our chemistry. But I think we already have a pretty decent chemistry. We've known each other for how long, do you think?
Oh man, I think one of the first times I met you was summer of 2017. Summer 2017 or 16?
It was summer of 2016.
16.
Definitely, because I remember...
What was our anniversary date, Josh?
Oh, well, I think it was end of August or something.
Are you blushing already?
What? No. But, okay, so I think what it was our mutual friend Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, great guy. He's just jealous of us doing this without him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrew I knew from SFU. We both went to Simon Fraser University, and he was like one of my best friends throughout university, and he moved out to Toronto. And he's been like telling our friend groups like, oh, you got to come out of Toronto, because we're both from Vancouver. Both Lucas and I are from Vancouver.
Yep.
And Lucas actually moved out here way before me. And when I came out here on my way to Europe to do like an exchange, I decided to stop in Toronto for a couple weeks.
Nice.
In the end of summer 2016.
Right.
To give Toronto like a trial run. Just to, figure out how I feel about the city, whether or not it's someplace I'd want to come. And after 2 weeks, it was like, 100%, this is where I want to be.
Was it that fast for you that you just realized you want to be not in Vancouver?
Yeah. Okay. I think it was just because the vibe was so different from Vancouver. Just the situation in Vancouver, I'd be living at home if I were to, stay there. That's one of the reasons, like the second I graduated, saved up a little bit more money, moved out here, January of 2018. But the first time I remember is actually pretty kismet, because we met at Yuck Yucks.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd seen live comedy in Toronto.
Nice.
And at that time, I wasn't thinking about comedy. Like, that wasn't something I was thinking of doing.
Yeah.
But just the fact that was the first thing we went to, and it was so different. Like, I went to the Comedy Mix in Vancouver a few times beforehand, and there would be, like, maybe 4 or 5 comedians in total in that night. But then the night that we went, which was Nubian night, which was like an all black. Actually, there were a couple of people that weren't black, but it was like that was the theme of the night. And it was like so different from anything I'd seen in Vancouver comedy wise. And there were just people, there were just comedians after comedians. It's like at a certain point, like I was amazed at how many there were. And then the headliner came out.
It was funny because when we first went in there, we didn't even know what Nubian means or anything like that. And then like by the third comedian, I'm like, oh, there is a trend. And the host was also black too.
Yeah.
And I remember not only were the comedians black too, majority of them were black, but the whole crowd was black too.
Yes.
And so... was it just us, or was Ryan also there too?
No, I don't think Ryan, another mutual friend, my roommate from Vancouver, no, he wasn't there at the time.
So they put, of course, the 3 Asians right smack middle front row.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were already telling the comedians in the back, like, guys, if you guys need a target, like, those are the ones to go for. Because, I mean, we were pretty roasted by the end of the night.
We were. At the end of the night, the comedian was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, these guys. So, I mean, as an audience member, you should be able to take the hits. It's all fun. But, yeah, it was kind of funny. That was the first time we met. And, like, we sat in the front, got to know you. And it's like, that was, like, first time I heard, it's like, oh, yeah, you're from Vancouver. You came out here to get into the, I think, film industry here.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like when I moved out here, in January, that's when we, caught up again. Yeah. And it was, since then, it's been great,
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember one of the first impressions I got of you when I first met you. Man, like, you went into my apartment without me being there.
Oh, my, right. Yeah.
And we were,
yes.
For the Vancouver folks who are listening to this, they have something called the CNE here, which is kind of the film, kind of similar to what the PNE is in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So I live with my girlfriend here, and we were going to the CNE together here.
Yeah.
And you needed a place to stop by before we took a streetcar to the CNE. I wasn't home for some reason yet, but my girlfriend was home.
Yeah.
And when I came through the door, I didn't realize you were already there.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then you're like, oh, I'm one of Andrew's friends. I'm Josh and everything like that. But I just remember, like, man, how'd you get access to my apartment?
Yeah.
So can you actually refresh my mind how you got access to my apartment?
Oh, I paid the doorman. Like, just slipped him a 20, just slipped him. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go right up. So your security's pretty lax. It's really easy to get into this place. But yeah, no, I think that actually might have been the first time in like 2 years or a year and a bit.
Yeah.
When like the last time like you actually saw me, and it was just sitting in your apartment, and I think it was your girlfriend and another friend who were here.
Right.
And like they didn't. That was the first time I met them too. So basically, there was a lot of trust going on from the very beginning to be like, okay, there's this Asian guy who's now in this apartment that, apparently Andrew, we all mutually know, but he's just here. And it's like, cool, I was just chatting with them, and then like you came, and then we just chatting, catching up, and it's like, okay, so I'm not a serial killer, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that was a rather odd way to be introduced to like some brand new people.
No doubt,
yeah, but no, that was also a good time. And I remember my first impression of you was just straight up one of the nicest guys. He's one of the nicest guys. I was like just so nice and welcoming. Like, you never met me before on the Nubian night in Yuck Yucks, and he was like, oh, so like interested in what I had to say, and it meant a lot. And you don't know how much. Okay, that's my acting.
Nice.
Okay. Clearly, we should stay in each other's lanes.